Hey everybody, Cody from Lazy Goblins here with the next installment of the Rollerball Unity tutorial series with Bolt. Alright, in this one we're actually going to dive into Bolt and we're going to make the player move. So the way we're going to make the player move is with physics. And if you want to do anything with physics in Unity, you need to add a rigid body to your components. So to do that, just click on whichever you want. For us it's going to be the player. Hit add component, type in rigid body, and we want the original rigid body, not the 2D, because we're working in 3D. Just click that. Boom, that's all set. And now our player here will have physics to it. Just drag it up. Ooh, watch it fall. Drag it up. Watch it fall. Alright, so now that we got that, we're going to go down here. Actually, we're going to right click in our project window, go to create bolt, or no, we're going to go to folder first. Call this macros. Keep things organized. Double click into that, right click, create bolt flow macro. Call this rolling movement. Alright, so we got that. Go to back to the player, go to add component, start typing in flow machine, and there it is. Then just drag and drop the rolling movement right there onto that. You can click edit graph and it will pop it open. And then what I like to do is I like to hit this full screen so it just expands and covers everything up. So now once we're in here, we're going to need a variable for speed. And so you just come over here to the left side. There's a bunch of sections for variables. Right now we're only going to be touching the graph variables. And you just see new variable name, and you type it in. I'll redo it for you guys. And then hit enter. And then this is the type. There's a bunch of types right here. Float is for decimal points, pretty much. Ints are for whole numbers. Strings are for like any text, and booleans are true or false. And then vector 3 is this right here. It's just 3 floating point values that represent X, Y, and Z. That's all it is. But for the speed, we're going to want a float. And then we could set that at something like 5 for now. And then we're going to need another variable. We're going to need the rigid body, so we'll just call it rigid body. And we're going to hit the type. And rigid body is a part of Unity Engine. You can come down here and do that, or you could just start typing in rigid body, and boom, it pops up. Go ahead and do that. And then what we're going to need to do, since we're moving the player with physics, we're going to need to be able to access and reference the rigid body. That's why we're making a variable for it. So you're going to want to right click. This brings up the fuzzy finder. You could type in whatever you're looking for here and then find it pretty easily, or you can browse through everything here. But we're going to want the start node. Let it load real quick. Boom, start. So we got the start event node right here. What we're going to want to do is on start, we're going to want to get the component, the rigid body component from the player. So how we do that is we come right here, we hold down, we click Alt on the keyboard, and it says, see how it says set rigid body? That means we're going to actually assign something to this variable. So bring that out, and then from here, this little green dot, gonna bring it out, and we're gonna type in get component, because that's what we're doing. We're getting a component of type rigid body. So you see right here, GameObject.getComponent type. That's what we want. We click that, come right here, start typing it in again, rigid body, kablam, drag that in there, and we are good to go. And now if you press play, see how it says none right here? Boom, it gets the player's rigid body. Perfect, so we have that now. Alright, now next we're actually going to want to start getting input and start actually adding force to this rigid body and actually moving the player around. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to right click, and there are two nodes that you'll be using. There's update. It gets called every single frame, and then there's fix update, and this is mainly for if you're working with physics, and that's what we're doing. We're working with the rigid bodies, we're moving the rigid bodies, we're adding force to the rigid body, we're working with physics, we're going to use a fix update. And then you're going to want to right click again, add a unit, and you're going to want to do input.get axis, and it's the first one that comes up. Actually, you know what? Let's read that. Input.get axis. It's pretty cool how it has a little description down there at the bottom. It says it returns the value of the virtual axis identified by axis name. So if you come down here, go to axis name, type in horizontal. That's what we're going to be getting. And if we go into edit, I might skip ahead here. Project settings. Yep, edit project settings, input, axis, horizontal. See how it says horizontal? And then it has a negative button and positive button, which are the left and right arrow keys. And then it has an alternative for both of those, which is the A and D keys. So what's basically going to happen is if you hit the negative button, it's going to do a value of -1. If you do the positive button, it will give a value of +1. And that's going to be the same thing we're going to do with the vertical. It has the negative button as down, positive as up. So we're going to click the horizontal one again, hit Control-C, Control-V, drag that right underneath it, and then type in vertical right here. And then what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to add another unit, and this is a vector 3, new. We're basically going to be storing these. New vector. Oh, no, that's not the one. That's not the one. Vector 3. Let's see, here we go. New vector 3, X, Y, Z. Perfect. So the horizontal, that's going to be going in our X, and the vertical is going to be going in our Z. And I'll show you exactly why. So this one right here, that's the Z, front and back. The X is left and right. If we did it in the Y, we'd be moving up and down, which we do not want right now. So we go right here. All right, cool. So we got the vector 3 right now. So what we're going to want to do now is we're going to want to, every time we do have an input, we're going to want to be checking and adding force to our player. So we're going to want to click add unit, type in rigid body, add force, and we want this one right here. We want the rigid body add force that takes in a force, and the force is just a vector 3 input, which we have right here. So we're going to drag, see how these look the same? It's a vector 3 to a vector 3, right? So we're going to drag that and connect it, and then since we want this to be checking itself, we're going to want to drag from the fixed update to the rigid body add force, just so it keeps checking to see if we're doing some input, and then once there's input, it'll register and start moving. So after that, go ahead and exit from the full screen, click to your game, hit play, and we'll try it out. Alright, look at that. Start moving around with WASD. Speed's a bit slow. You can always adjust it. Just unhit play. Go back to your flow graph. Oh, didn't want to do that. You can adjust this to like 15 or something. Go back to the game. Oh, you know what? There is something we're missing. We are missing something. It's going the same speed. You want to know why? Because we're not using the speed right now. Right now, it's just moving in +1 or -1 in either the X or the Z. So what we need to do is to unlink this. Go ahead and just right click on that. You're going to want to drag out from here. You'll want to hit multiply. Just do the first one right there. And we're going to want to drag the speed variable. See how it says get speed? That means we're getting the variable speed. Drag that into B. Then drag the multiply into the force. And then exit full screen, hit play, go to your game window. And you should be moving faster now, so be prepared. Whoa, there we go. Roll, 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 roll. So that is it, guys. That's all you need to do to get a player up and running with Bolt. See, it's not that hard. You just got to get used to it. In the next one, we're going to start kind of getting and setting up the camera a little bit more. So I will see you guys in the next one. Be sure to like and subscribe. Hit the bell notification to get notified for the next video and the rest of the videos as well. They'll be coming out daily until I'm done with the series. But I will catch you guys in the next video. And I will see you later. Still suck with the outros. It's cool. I'll figure it out one day.